something that I highly recommend with this type of paint medium, so this is the medium for acrylic gouache, I would highly recommend that you have very strong paper, and that either or you go and like put painter's tape or like mask tape around and like put the paint on the surface, because if you don't, then you need to have some sort of like strong paint, or not strong paint, strong paper, water paper, so it would be like a water-based paper that will be able to hold the acrylic medium and the gouache medium together, because it's like both, right? So it's acrylic gouache, so you would need like a paper that's going to be very strong to hold it, and they have strong paper at Blick, so I highly recommend that you go and you talk to someone at Blick and say like, hey, like I need strong paper, or you can make your own like watercolor paper and like your own like acrylic watercolor paper that would allow you to be able to hold the acrylic gouache, because the acrylic gouache, it's a very strong paint while being water-based, right? So you're having the strength of acrylic and the strength of watercolor at the same time, and blending that with a water-based medium. You need to hold the paper down with masking tape if you're using like if you're using just like regular watercolor paper. But I would recommend that if you're using acrylic gouache, because it is a specialty paint, then go to Blick and ask them about like or not even Blick, I'm just saying like any like paint shop. Just go to any paint shop and say like, hey, I need heavyweight watercolor paper to be able to hold acrylic gouache, and they will help you like immediately. They're amazing. You don't have to go to a commercial art store. You can also like make the paper yourself if you're someone who's more like DIY and you would like to make your own watercolor book. You gotta trust the process, because in the beginning, this acrylic paint, I would highly recommend that if you want it to be more watercolor, loosen the paint. But if you want it to be more like the beautiful acrylic colors, I would highly recommend that you, this isn't how it looks. Anyways, but if you want it to be like those beautiful acrylic colors and stuff, that's how it looks, then I would highly recommend using more paint. Look, this is the palette so far. I'm gonna need a second. But yeah, like these are the types of colors that I'm using. I'm like mixing like sunset colors and sunset browns. The underpainting is blue. Very, very gorgeous reference. It's Vogue India. So yeah, this is it. Okay, so for this piece, I have to keep on applying layers because this paint, it is very quick, but sometimes it's very hard to blend. People have said that gouache is like hard for me to blend. I don't think that gouache, artist grade gouache, is hard for me to blend personally. I think that acrylic gouache is hard to blend, but you have to keep on letting it dry and keep on letting it produce like more layers and blend as much as possible, because it does reactivate to a certain extent, right? It doesn't look like this, but yeah, you have to keep on applying layers, keep on going, and letting it dry. Because once it dries, like now the paper isn't fussing as much. That's not a word I use usually, but it's not really being as stubborn as it was. It's a little more like less finicky. So yeah, I highly recommend. This is the palette so far. Like I said, a lot of beautiful cherry roses, cherry reds, browns. I'm mixing the cherry reds that I like with the pinks, and just a lot of pinks, oranges, those tones. I've barely used the blue. I've only used the blue to create a green that will be her garment. So yeah, I'm so excited for this piece. It's going to take a lot of formatting. I do want to go and change the proportion, but honestly I don't want this painting to be realistic. I'm unlearning. Okay, so this is the finished painting. This is the third try with the acrylic gouache. I'm actually really happy with it. I'm really happy with it. This is the first time I've done like a full like a full portrait on a bigger paper with acrylic gouache. And it looks so beautiful. Like, I just want to experiment with it a lot more. It's so pretty and it looks so much more like blended out. I feel so much more happy about it. Okay, that's gonna bother me. But yeah, it looks so pretty. This is the finished product. I might have ruined it by right there, but it's okay. I think it fits. It looks awesome. I would highly recommend using some sort of acrylic brush because for watercolor, using it with acrylic wash is not gonna work. Yeah. It looks so pretty. It looks so pretty. Yeah. That mistake looks like a blemish, and I love mistakes.